Welcome to the Success with Jewelry podcast, where we invite you inside our conversations about business success and marketing for jewelry designers and entrepreneurs.
We're Liz and Laryssa, jewelry marketing experts with a combined 16 years of experience in jewelry marketing and proven track records in helping jewelry brands meet their goals. When you listen to or watch this podcast, you get an intimate and exclusive peek behind the curtain of all the things you wish you could know about earning success in this industry.
Welcome to episode 25. In this episode, Liz and I will be talking about how you can get more consistent with email marketing as a jewelry business owner. We'll be covering why consistency matters so much for email marketing, why being consistent means putting together a content calendar and considering your storytelling and your messaging, and how to get comfortable with email metrics so that you can use those to get more comfortable with consistency. We also want to tell you about our insider community. When you join for only $20 a month, you'll have access to extended episodes full of tips that you can start implementing today and further resources about each topic we discuss. To get access to the exclusive content, sign up by visiting successwithjewelry.com. All right, Liz, let's get into it.
Let's talk about consistency, which is the most important thing that anyone should be doing with their marketing, all of their marketing. Everything should be consistent, but it's especially important with email marketing.
Oh, it's everything. It will unlock so many benefits but it's also simultaneously the thing people feel so uncomfortable about.
Yes, I don't know why, but designers feel intrusive when they send email, and there's no reason to feel that way. We ideally think that sending 2 emails a month is the best approach to this. And it's really important because you want to be telling a story. You want to be not only consistent in how frequently you're sending, like we'd mentioned, a best practice we would suggest is 2 times a month, but you also want your design and your voice in your emails and, what you're saying to be consistent as well.
Yeah. And just as Liz said, consistency can be in a lot of different forms. So it's not just how often you're sending, but it's in the story you're saying, the look of the emails, like where you put pictures and buttons in the emails. All those things make such a big difference, and they help you continue to improve your marketing over time.
And for designers who are feeling like, okay, I hear you, I need to be doing email marketing regularly, but I don't have the time or it's overwhelming and I can't get it done. Consistency actually helps with that because you're using the same layout, or maybe you have a couple layouts that you use, and you're really just switching out the images and writing fresh content, writing fresh copy for these. So being steady, being almost repetitive in a sense, and really regular in what you're doing is actually the best way to be successful.
And it'll also help you really hone in on your brand story, because when you have to continue, you have to show up, let's say once a week or however often you're doing it. You need to just show up and find a new way to tell that story over and over and find how to engage your customers over and over. And that just makes you a better business owner overall.
Definitely. And I think that stepping back and planning and doing some of this big picture work will help it so that you are more easily able to stay consistent, but also so your story is the most impactful it could be. And so when you're looking at it big picture and kind of the topics or the themes upcoming, you can have a really strong through line.
Absolutely. And with the planning and with the almost repetitive nature of the content, you can almost even write or create one piece and then repurpose it for your email, for a collection page on your website, for a blog post, for your social media captions. So in that way, again, you are having maximum presence, but you're still saving time and being efficient.
And so I was writing copy for a designer recently, and I did a lot of pulling copy from their website and kind of tweaking it to feel a little more conversational, but I felt good about it. And you should too, pulling copy from different places, because that ensures that you are telling this consistent story everywhere. And sometimes designers put a lot of energy into writing this copy for a blog post or writing captions for their website and things like that. And then they just sit there, and, people aren't digging deep necessarily on your website all of the time. So it's super appropriate and actually very helpful to pull some of that copy to use in your email marketing. And the same goes for your email marketing. When you're writing something and spending a lot of time on it, make sure you're using it on social media or on your blog as well.
Yeah, Liz and I do it with Success with Jewelry. So we speak from our own example.
Yes. And the more consistent you are, it actually ensures that your emails are getting seen and delivered.
Yes, when you send, so here's the thing about, oh, I don't want to send every however long insert time frame because I'm afraid that I'll be annoying or intrusive. But there's actually like a counterintuitive thing about this because the less often you send, the more likely you are to get to end up in spam and to actually be kind of annoying because people forget they're on your list. They forget who you are. If someone signed up for your list, they want to hear from you regularly. Otherwise, like, what's the point of even getting an email every once in a while where you like feel like that person, what, did they go out of business? Do they not care? Like, you don't want to end up in a spam folder. So sending on a regular cadence helps the health of your like reputation as a sender.
You also don't want, I was just thinking about this, you don't want to like not send emails all year and then holiday comes and you're sending all of these emails. So actually sending emails regularly now will set you up for more success come the holiday season.
Yeah, it's embarrassing when I when I get email marketing and I'm like, where have they been? I'm like, it's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, you had mentioned you're like, sometimes I get emails and I forgot I had signed up for the
Oh
list and I
yeah.
forgot who the brand was.
Yeah. And they will sometimes actually end up in my spam. There's like a yoga company that they send like maybe once every quarter and I always only see it because I'm looking through my spam folder.
Oh my goodness, don't be that brand. You
Mm-mm.
heard it here first. Don't be that brand. So also being consistent with your emails means that you'll have more data that you can use to figure out e-commerce tactics like segmentation, personalization, A/B testing, automations. All of this will help you be more effective in doing those things.
Yes, the more data you have, the better. You are not going to figure out email marketing the first time you send an email. I get a lot of people saying, Laryssa, I tried email marketing and it just didn't work. And I know Liz has this experience also. We're like, okay, well, what'd you try? How long did you try? Oh, like a month. Or even Liz said, one email. Okay. It
One
doesn't work
email is
like
not
that.
enough. No. Yeah,
No.
usually 3 to 6 months before you see anything actually taking action. I would actually, I don't want to scare people, but I would say 9 months to really see if something's working.
Yeah. And I work with clients that have been in business for like decades and they're still trying to figure out how to make their email marketing better. It's an ongoing process and it's not only you that's changing, but like the market's changing. The way people consume things is always changing. So it's like a very fluid thing.
And you want your business to be top of mind so that when somebody is ready to buy, you're there. So even if maybe they didn't open your last 5 emails, but then they get an email and they're ready to buy, or they have some money they want to spend, and you're still there. You're there for them, and they can open that email, click to your website, and purchase something.
Yeah. I mean, think about your own like customer behavior. I think multiple times a day emails from DSW, the shoe company. But every once in a while, I'm like, you know what? I need a new pair of shoes. So I'll ignore like hundreds of emails. But then I remember they're the brand I'm going to go look for my shoes at.
And you always see stuff pop up in your inbox. So like even if you don't need shoes, you're like when you do need shoes, you know you're going to DSW because they're always in your inbox.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something else I love about emails, it keeps lines of communication open between you and your subscribers. So, I mean, Laryssa, I don't think you can email DSW back and get a response, but you might. But if you're a solopreneur, I love the idea of, really having that intimate experience with your audience so that they can respond to you. And, once they know you're there and once they know you're accessible, they're going to trust you so much more.
And that's the advantage too. If you feel intimidated by like your email marketing versus like, whatever, like, I can't even think of a brand like David Yerman or something who's sending like a ton of emails. The advantage you have is it can feel more intimate and personal, and you can do things that brands like that can't do that feels more like corporate.
You can write in first person and encourage a response, and then you can reply to that response. And that's a really powerful thing. So, consistency also means putting together a content calendar and considering your storytelling and messaging.
Yes. So there's nothing like magical or sexy about planning your emails. It's literally using whatever kind of calendar format works for you, figuring out, okay, how often am I going to be sending this? And then plotting it out as far in advance as you can know. Hopefully, like 6 months, but even like 3 months is good. That way you can start brainstorming copy. You can wrangle up any like photos or graphics that you need. And it gives you more space to be creative because you're not trying to think of things at the last minute and then setting yourself up to like make a mistake or just it feels rushed or a little sloppy.
Yes, planning is huge for email marketing. So, I like to start with having a theme and then kind of drilling down from there. And you want to plot everything out on the calendar based on your sending frequency. So that you have this time to build these emails and get it together. But from there, you want to create a spreadsheet and maybe pre-write your subject lines and other email copy so that when you're ready to format it, you have everything there. And I like to use like bullet points as a guide. And I like to really make sure everything's in alignment with the goal I have for that email. So when I'm writing my notes, I like to set my goal too. But doing all that work in advance will come to the point where you're inputting things in your template and you're ready to go. You don't have to be sitting at like this empty like MailChimp template. You already chose your templates. You know what you're using. You're using the same ones every month, and you just need to input this copy you created.
It makes it so much less stressful. It sets you up for success and it reduces the likelihood you'll make a mistake, which Liz and I do when we're doing things last minute. So we try to avoid that.
Yes. So once you've done your email, we really encourage you to pre-schedule them at least a week in advance so that you're not scrambling to do it last minute, so that you're ready to go. And then there's also wiggle room so you can make changes and adjustments, but you can also take the mental load of the email off, which is something I think a lot of designers carry is like this load of like, I need to post on Instagram, I need to do this email marketing, but creating these content calendars and planning in advance is going to take that load off of you.
It just becomes like a thing that you check off a list when you're in like a clear mindset to do it rather than like remembering all the things you have to do on like Friday afternoon or something like that.
Yes, definitely. And something else is really, and this is Laryssa's favorite topic of this whole thing, but getting comfortable with your email metrics so that you can get comfortable with your consistency.
Yeah. So I was actually recently reading some marketing book, and this person was like astonished that they invest so much time and effort into their marketing, but then they don't take the one extra step to like pay attention to the data. It's almost like a waste to put all of that into it and not understanding like what's working, what's not working, how can we be better. So taking like one extra moment to get familiar with things like your open rate, your click through rate, and your unsubscribe rate, especially if you're keeping up with your consistency, you can see, all right, well, no one really clicked on that email, so I'll try not to do that kind of format again. Or maybe I will try it one more time to see if it was just like a fluke, maybe it was random that happened. But like getting comfortable with the numbers helps you feel more confident about the decisions you're making.
I just sent an email for a brand to promote a upcoming trade show, and I pulled the data of the open rates. And what I thought about after that, when I was looking at it, was like, how could I figure out who's really more interested so I could follow up? And so the next time I do this, I'm going to have a button that somebody can click to learn more, or have some sort of call to action where somebody's clicking. So then not only will I see the 50 people who opened the email, but then I'll also see a smaller percent of people who clicked, and those will be stronger leads.
That is so smart. I like that a lot. Yeah. So strategically thinking about the layout in terms of the goal that you want to achieve from it.
Yes. So, I mean, it's not that many things that you need to look at, metrics you need to look at. It's, your open rate, your click through rate, your unsubscribe rate. I encourage you to do this after every email to take notes on this because it will be really helpful going forward.
But don't get like hyper obsessed either. That's kind of like a mistake I see, especially if you're only sending like once a month or twice a month. That is simply not enough data to like make conclusions about anything. So then people are like, oh, this one email I sent in January just did so bad. Like, what am I doing wrong? It could have just been a bad day. Like, who knows? Like, you don't know what's going
I know
on.
it's you're looking for trends in any kind of reporting. You're not looking at everything so specifically. You're looking at kind of trends overall. And the other thing that people ask me all of the time is like, what time do I send an email to get the absolute best results? And that is something that you need to test. We don't have an answer for you.
No, sorry. Yeah, if only we knew, we would
If only
be
we knew. Thanks for
billionaires.
listening to us. We
Yeah.
have no answers, only advice.
I mean, it would not be the same for every single brand anyway. There's no one magic number. It depends so much on your individual audience and their behaviors. It depends on what you're selling. So many things. And that could change from month to month. Like maybe in the summer, that's not going to work because everyone's on vacation or something like that.
Yeah. Like, circling back to what we were saying before, marketing is something we're always working to find success in. And knowing your audience and knowing your brand are the two best things you can do for yourself to
Yes.
find that success.
Preach. So we want to know, have you been trying to get more consistent with your email marketing? Let us know. You can visit successwithjewelry.com to sign up for the extended version of this episode, as well as exclusive content. Thanks so much for listening or watching.